Dumpster Divas. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. We're doing a little test today on lives. The idea is to start doing some more video for the podcast, and I know that you guys had video for a little bit over in the Patreon. There's been a lot going on in the world of Tom Hamlett, so we haven't been doing too much over on the Patreon right now. But I'd like to bring some lives here to YouTube. So I created a YouTube account. It's dumpsterdive_Tom Hamlett right now is the handle. I'm going to work on adjusting that handle. But yeah, we're going to get a YouTube live going. The idea here currently is to record a reality recap every Thursday evening on live. Now, that's the plan. Now, obviously plans change, but Thursday evenings at like 7 p.m. That's a good time for me. I have the apartment to myself during that time, so if I want to get rowdy with you guys, I can. And also you can see Russell. Say hi to everyone. But this isn't live today because I had to troubleshoot some YouTube things, but I am going to upload this video to YouTube. So do find the YouTube. I'll link it in the show notes here on the podcast. But today is just going to be a solo recap diving into the pop culture of the week, the Bravo. We only got two shows really going right now that I want to recap here, but two and a half, the half being Southern Hospitality. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing good. I'm doing okay. I've been very honest about my level of okay on the podcast platforms, and I want to continue to tell you guys, not tell you, but express my love to all of you guys for continuing to show the podcast some love and my heart some love as I venture through a very weird 2025 so far. But you know, I recorded an episode the other day for our other podcast, Good Judy's, which if you have not subscribed to Good Judy's, please do that. We are Good Judy's on all your podcast platform. You can follow the Instagram Good Judy's Pod on Instagram, and probably some other places too coming up soon. So definitely go listen. But I was on with friend of the pod here on Dumpster Dive, but then also best friend of mine in real life, Spencer Glass. And, you know, he had some wise words of wisdom for me that was, you know, like, I know it seems like a scary place right now, but he was like, the energy around you is that something really amazing is about to happen. And I needed to hear that. And I believe that. I really do believe that. The podcast continues to grow. You guys continue to be amazing supporters. And I want 2025 to be the year that this venture really takes a new form. Now that I'm solo, we love Kix. We miss Kix. Well, I see her all the time, but you guys, I'm sure, miss her. But now that, you know, she's out, kind of, it gives me a little bit more freedom to get this off the ground in certain ways. And she would agree with that too. She has a much different life schedule from me, and also different goals, you know? So I want to get a live show off the ground by the end of the year. Like something just kind of silly, gossipy, like low stakes. Like, let's just all watch like an episode of TV together and talk about it sort of vibe. Like just something fun. We need fun, right? In this trying time, we need fun. So would love to hear some feedback on ideas about what that's going to look like. But yeah, let's dive into the shows of the week. Oh my God. Also, I'm sorry, I look crazy today. Well, actually, my skin looks good, actually. I look okay. It's more just like my background. I did not get it together. There's just like shit everywhere, which is an interesting choice I made for my first test on YouTube. If you have any any streamers out there that could help me set up some things, hook a sister up, because I'm a one-man band over here. But let's dive into the stuff. So right now we have Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. We have Beverly Hills. We have Summer House. I bailed on Southern Charm this season. I watched I watched this past week's episode. Is that bailing? You know, I don't think that's bailing. I just haven't been watching as intently. I skipped some episodes. But you know what I am loving is Southern Hospitality. It is the greatest show that's on Bravo currently. I have to say. Um, so yeah, let's dive into Potomac. So we're in our first part of our Potomac reunion, and this season I put this on. I not blue skeeted. I threaded. What I can't. I'm trying to find a social media app that works for me. That's not Instagram for like my stream of consciousness. You know, I don't know how y'all just sit there and type these things on these like text based apps. So I tried Blue Sky. It wasn't really working. Threads, I'm liking a little bit better, but it's meta. I don't know. You know, my ADD's raging right now. But back to Potomac. You know, I threaded that the season was like a B minus, C plus. The reunion is like an A minus. It's pretty fantastic, I have to say. Like you know, every once in a while, the use of a wife not coming to a reunion lands really well. I didn't say that correctly. Sometimes when the housewife bails on the reunion, it can be such a lame-o move. Like I think when Lisa Vanderpump didn't go to that reunion, when was that? Like her juicy apple juicy, whatever that goddamn thing's name was. But um, when she didn't go to that reunion, essentially because of a dog and of the girls ganging up on her about it, that didn't land. It made her look bad, right? But like when Luann didn't go to that reunion because she was in like rehab after, it was riveting, right? I have to kind of categorize this Karen no show into the riveting corner of no shows. Her presence not there almost makes it all a bit more impactful, like why she's not there. That was really deep. I don't know. It just it worked. I love this concept that like the women can speak fully, wholeheartedly, honestly about how fucked up that body cam footage was. Like I feel like we wouldn't have gotten that level of honesty if she was there, you know? And I don't think Andy would have been. I just feel like the dynamic would have been different around it. It would have handled it with a little bit more care than she deserves because she did something really bad. So yeah, that's kind of my thought. I thought this was a stellar reunion. I really did. And we are barreling towards this reveal that Stacy, oh my God, Stacy. Apparently the reveal is that Stacy, well, that TJ has like said on a recorded format. I think it was either like on the show or on a FaceTime or something that he wasn't getting paid enough to be on the show, and that's why he didn't go to the reunion. And they're going to reveal that live on the reunion. I think that's what's going to happen. I'm sure there's going to be some more nuance to it, but I can't wait for that. And I hope that doesn't mean that she gets fired. I want her to stay. You know who else is popping on the reunion that didn't have maybe one like two scenes in the show is one Kiarna. She was really good in the reunion last year. The reunion last year was the only part of that season that I watched. And why is she popping on reunions but not popping on the show? Like it feels like a crazy place to like show up. Like show up in the scenes. You know, show up there. Don't show up like on the couch. But yeah, I'm loving it. Giselle getting emotional about Karen's video was kind of unexpected. Their relationship is extremely layered, and I find it really interesting. I do. That being said, I don't know where y'all land, but I don't know if we think that Karen should come back to the show. I kind of don't know how she can, you know? I don't know. This is bad. What happened to her was really bad. I think Bravo will probably want her back. But the problem is when she returns, do we think she's going to have any form of remorse for what happened? I don't know. And in that video, she was talking about, in the video that she filmed for everyone to watch at the reunion, she was talking about how She's focused on her family because they're so disappointed in her or something. And I'm kind of like, weren't the disappointment should have happened a long time ago when this all went down. Why are they disappointed now by the sentencing? I don't know. It's just weird. All of it is weird. Why she's choosing now to feel badly about her actions is so, so weird to me. I don't totally understand it. So I don't really know where we go from here with the Grand Dame. But we're off to a great start. I can't wait to see where we go. Oh my God, Mia. So Mia, it would, sometimes when things happen off camera and they're brought to a reunion stage, it's annoying because you're like, well, we don't know the whole story. We didn't see everything happen. Like, can we just move on to what actually happened in the season? I take all that back. I take it all back. Every bit of it I take back because this reveal that so Mia had her birthday in Miami, which I'm sure there was some t-shirt with like MIA in MIA. I was just like going in my head through all the corny ass ways she probably was like celebrating MIA and MIA. And she invited only two of the housewives, I believe just two, and that was Jazzy and Stacy. Which you have to laugh because I'm like, they're the new girls. They have no one. And Mia is like trying to like steal them under her wing to be like, be my little minions. Well, that didn't really work out very well because Mia invited them. They confirmed. They landed, they booked flights, went to Miami, landed in Miami, text her. She does not tell them where she is for a whole day. Then the following day, she says, well, we're doing dinner here. And she shows up anywhere from an hour to 3 hours late. Then no one can really lock in an exact time to the dinner. And so the girls left after an hour because they were like, you're just not here. Like, I don't want to be here if you're not here. That's why we're here. So they didn't see her. They went home. They didn't even see the birthday girl in Miami. Y'all, that is crazy. And Ashley is so petty. Like, Andy wasn't going to bring it up because I don't think he knew about it. But Ashley at the reunion was like, now tell us about Miami. Miami? Hey, can y'all tell us about Miami? So thank God Ashley instigated that for once and got a really good story. Also, did you guys see that Ashley announced her divorce in one of the most diabolical divorce announcements ever? She's like topless holding the newspaper over her titties. And the article on the newspaper says, Ashley's divorce is finalized. I don't get it. There's parts of that story that we will never know, is my thought. But shout out to Michael. Hope you're doing well, Mr. Darby. But let's move on. That's Potomac. Probably more thoughts later as the reunion unfolds. I'm excited to see what happens next. Beverly Hills. We spend the first couple minutes still in Augusta.
How many people were scared? Me too. I was really, really scared.
Like, so scared. I hope you guys heard that. I'm trying to do the soundboard here on the YouTube live. So if you didn't hear it, I just stared at the camera. But how many people were scared? I was scared. Like, we can't be in the house anymore. It is at night. I feel like that house is like the Skeleton Key. I don't know if you guys have seen the Skeleton Key with Kate Hudson. Fantastic film. And she's trapped in this house in New Orleans with an old woman, a Creole woman, who is haunted by some New Orleans spirits. Don't share that. That wasn't good. That wasn't good, guys. Sorry about that. It feels like the Skeleton Key. Like, there are things that happen at night there. I think that home is haunted. I know it's a new build, I think, but it's still haunted. And the Miss Reba, a single mom who works to die, is haunting. The woman is haunting. It all tracks why Sutton is so fucking weird. Was that bad? She's weird. She's just kind of weird. It's just, something's off. The crab cake stories tell it all. the fact that she had to make those crab cakes the day after her dad died. It's that crab cake story will haunt me for the rest of my days. But we head back to Beverly Hills, and it's the 4th of July, so like of course Dorit is gonna throw a 4th of July party for the girls and the kids, the girls and the gays. And this the dynamics are interesting. Like, is Kyle really do you think Kyle really wants to be friends with Garcelle and Sutton? I think it's just all she's got left. She's like, no one else here likes me. And these women don't even really like me. They're just willing to pretend that they like me so they can stay on my show. My show. Yeah, so they're this like a little pack that moves around together now after their bonded trip in Augusta. And they get to this party. Sutton gets there on time, and Dorit is nowhere to be found, and there's just children running everywhere. It's really pretty funny. And then Garcelle gets there, and then literally the first thing Dorit says to all of them, Garcelle says to Sutton, she's like, "What are you drinking?" She's like, "I got that watermelon drink that was up there." And Garcelle goes, "Oh, is there alcohol in it?" And obviously, because I think the reason she was asking is because it's a kid's party. So, like, I don't know if this is it a booze zone or a booze free zone? Like, where are we at? And Dorit has the gall to say, "Oh, is there alcohol in it? It's Sutton and she's drinking something. Of course there's alcohol in it."
Oh, she's taking it.
She is taking it. I gagged. I did gag a bit. I will say though, like, the alcohol judgy of it all is tough. However, Sutton's response to the alcohol, to her relationship with alcohol, kind of makes it seem like the relationship may be unhealthy. You know? I don't know. There are times where I'm like, she's always drinking a Tito's and grapefruit, like at all hours of the day, from what we see on the show. Okay, Sutton? I'm just saying, this is what we see on the show. And then her reaction of like utter anger when Dorit makes these comments kind of only makes her seem a little more guilty of like some sort of relationship problem with Tito's. I don't know. It's tough. I think it's low in general. Like, I don't think we should ever be claiming people's relationships with substances on these shows. I just don't think it's safe. I don't think it's smart. And it's not really that funny. Like think about all the times Luann did it after she got sober, and Tinsley was like, "Yeah, I'm drinking, Luann." I don't know, like, because I didn't drink for like 6 months during marathon training, and then I've been drinking again, socially. And like, it's weird. People's vibes around what is in your hand is so weird. It's so weird. Like, why do y'all care? Like, if someone is or isn't, you know? It's just like, kind of mind your own business. I don't know. It's such a bizarre relationship we have. And like, the thing is, like, the thing that's weird for me, like not drinking for a little bit and then going back to drinking here and there, is this idea that like people thought I stopped drinking for like because there was an issue, when in reality it was for the marathon, and I just needed a restart. Like, it was just too much of my life was consumed with like, where are we going to happy hour this weekend? When a shift was made where it then became like, where am I going to work out this weekend? Instead of like, I just needed that change, you know? But people are so weird about the return to like having a drink. And then they're weird again in return if you stop again. It's like kind of like none of y'all's business, to be honest, why I will or won't have a NA beer or a regular beer. You know? I don't know. It's just kind of my thought on it. And also, people make it so weird to claim not drinking. People automatically go to this label of like, oh, so you're a sober person now. And it's like, what in what world does that mean I'm a sober person just because I'm not drinking right now? Like, it's all, y'all, I think we're all operating under some form of insecurities about our relationships with substances, myself included. And we just need to kind of release that sometimes because it's not a good look to be judgy and care about what other people are doing. Like, let people live. We're just trying to get through what this 2025 has in store for us. And so far, should be crazy. Anyways, that's my little soapbox about the drinking accusations. It's just, to me, it feels low and not worth the storyline. But Sutton in the after show said that it was like one of the meanest thing. It's the meanest thing that's ever happened to her on the show. And it's like, girl. It didn't need to be that big of a deal. I know I'm like flip-flopping sides here. I see all sides of the thought and the argument. I just think in general, we just shouldn't like be in this space of like monitoring what people are doing, you know? But yeah, this season, like, what is, I keep saying this, but do y'all think there's someone missing? Like, just, is there a hole in the cast to you? I know I'm saying this to the, it is a fake live, so I'm talking to no one right now, but it feels like there is a space. We need a couple more people here to make the cast really work. Like, this cast works. They have great dynamics, but they're not exciting, you know? So I don't know. And I don't even think, I mean, I still think we got like 10 episodes in this season to go still. So I'm having an okay time. I'm not saying I'm having a great time, but I'm having an okay time. Where I am having a great time is back in the Hamptons with Summer House. I have to say it, y'all. Summer House will always have a place in my heart. Why is that? I think there's something about the straight nonsense that is so comforting to me as a non-straight. Watching straight people be messy, it's so removed from my experience. It's just fun. I just have a great time watching these kiddos do reckless things. Now, we've had 2 episodes so far. We have 2 newbies in the house. I'm looking up their names. Lexi is definitely one of them. And then there's another girl who I simply cannot remember her name. And she's like not in the show. She looks like Jenna Ortega. I truly don't understand what she's doing there. Oh, Bailey. Bailey is her name. Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird. Like, why is she there? She's not being filmed barely at all. And she's like in the girls' pictures, and I don't know. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense, like why she's in the mix. Are we now doing like friend ofs on the show? Like, I don't know. But these 2 new girls, love and light to Bailey especially, but they're not really hitting for me. Lexi, I have a real problem with something with Lexi. Okay. And that is that she has 1.2 million followers on Instagram. I do not want influencers on these shows. You can become an influencer because of the show. I do not want you on the show as an influencer because you're entering into the environment that these people have worked just hours, days, years on creating this environment of Summer House. And you walk in already with a platform and an agenda. When these people have built that house brick by brick by motherfucking brick, and you walk in with an agenda to like become like even more of an influencer, sell your shit, all that stuff. It's weird to me. Also, I'm going to be a little mean for a second. Okay. We're 25 minutes into this. Hopefully she doesn't get to it. She is a beautiful girl. I want her to just release some of this like makeup. We are so painted. And she looks so much older than she is by layering so much like bronzer, highlight, shadow. I'm just kind of like, can we just go for like an all natural look, girl? Like, you are beautiful and you are so young. You don't need to look like a 30-year-old supermodel. You can look like a 22-year-old supermodel. So, yeah. Also, this photo that was floating around, let me pull it up, of of the girls. Where is it? Here. It's you guys probably can't see this, but it's of the girls all at that bar. I'm sorry, y'all, my ring light. Well, regardless. It oh god, what did I just do? It it's shocking how much like they just the Bailey and Lexi look like these like little they look like children. They look like everyone it was like bring your kids to work day. And Gabby, Sierra, Paige, and Lindsay and Amanda birth these two like little itty bitty pocket sized supermodels. It's very weird. The vibes are weird. Lindsay could eat these girls for breakfast if they cross her in 1 second. I need them gone. I don't like it. I don't know. They're not clicking for me. Because like the dynamics of everyone else is more interesting, right? The dynamics of Lindsay and Carl, Sierra and West, and y'all. West. Should we talk about West? Now West was on this show. Need we not forget? If you have not seen that episode, go to like I think the interview was in June of 2024 is when I interviewed him. It was June or it was like April. No, I think it was late April. I think it was April of 2024. And I don't to this day know why he took the interview, to be quite honest. I think he did it because I reached out before his reunion performance. The interview was booked after the reunion had aired. I still went in not trying to like roast him. I just wanted to like hear more about him because I thought he was a really interesting first season straight male on a show that actually like was like fun to watch. And we had a good rapport and it was great. And then there's some weird things that happen after. I don't want to get into all of it because this is going out to a lot of platforms, but I think there was like a little bit of like a vibe that like he didn't want the world to be listening to this episode, even though I did my best to make him look really good. And in hindsight, I don't know why I did that. Like he just it was the vibes before and during fantastic. The vibes after became weird. I don't know. And then right after the episode came out was when he went in to film the show. So that's a little tea for you guys, but I mean, I didn't really reveal that much. I've kind of alluded to it earlier. I like spilled all these beans on Ryan Bailey's podcast, but yeah, it's just like if like the podcast role is weird because you're like constantly just doing other people favors because no one really pays anything to interview people. Although, y'all, there are some people I've reached out to come into the pod that were Bravo celebrities, low level Bravo. Like I would say like Z-list Bravo celebrities that asked for $1,000.
How many people were scared? Me too. I was really, really scared.
I probably shouldn't have said that, but I mean, I didn't say who it was. I guess it wasn't West, but like there was this one person that said their rate. They said, I will not do this for free. Here's my rate. Let me know if you're interested." In what world would I pay you $1,000 to tell me about what it's like to work on a boat? Anyways, that's just some behind the scenes tea. I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble today. You wanna get into some trouble, guys? No, I'm not really revealing anything too crazy. But back to West. Yeah, West, I had high hopes for him. And I think I was bamboozled, just like Sierra was, into thinking that he was better than a typical straight. And in the end, he's just a little fuckboy. And he is so frightened of Sierra. It's so fun to see straight men frightened of these women. Carl is so frightened of Lindsay. West is so frightened of Sierra. I kind of love it. Love to see it. The feminist in me loves to see it. So Sierra confronts him, and I think she's probably being a little sensitive about the whole situation. But it's clear she takes these relationships very seriously. with Austin, with West, and like she just needs to stop dating men on the show. I think she said that herself. Was like, I need to just not be doing this anymore because it's just a waste of time. Which I agree, because your whole relationship then is there on camera. Although apparently, I think allegedly, we get some sort of threesome moment that she and Lexi and Jesse are all involved in. I think that's who the threesome is with. If not, I know that I feel like Jesse and Sierra have a sexual chemistry that maybe comes up in this season. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know this for a fact. Just from trailers and vibes is what I'm basing that off of. But yeah, I mean, I love these kids. Kyle is the worst, but somehow the best. If you get it, you get it. It's just he sucks, but then you're like, wait, like you are kind of great. It's like he sucks in his relationship, but he's great with everyone else. So, although we haven't had any Kymanda blowouts yet, but I can't wait. I just want to go to that house and spend an evening with everyone. Just see what it's like. I don't know about y'all. I just want to see what the vibes are like in that house. You know, Andy said it smelled like shit in there. I can see it. And I'm kind of down for it.
How many people were scared? Me too. I was really, really scared.
Okay, moving on to my beloved, my dearly beloved, my new favorite show. Speaking of straight people behaving badly, that is One Southern Hospitality. It is Thursday when I'm recording this, so I have not seen the newest Southern Hospitality, but I have caught up on the last, which is where they were at this pool party in Vegas, and Grace Hilly didn't show up, and then what's her face was mad, and blah, blah, blah. My biggest takeaway of this episode, though, is that they're at this pool party, and Bravo has done an amazing job of making sure the pool party looks poppin'. There's a couple of wide shots. It truly looks like there are just straight people in the background looking at the cameras, just like. Meanwhile, the cast is like partying and like grinding. No one's around them. No one's dancing. It's just them dancing. If you like really inspect the shots, like everyone, there's no one else there. It looks like that to me. And maybe there's shots after the party ended, but the wide shots of this party do not look fun. You know, I'm not a day pool. I like a pool party, but I don't want to go to a DJ set at a pool. That's just not really my vibe. In Vegas, to me, the pools are a moment of respite, a moment to kind of sweat out your regret from the night before, or that day. It's not really to party. Like I know that is a big market there. That is not where I like my party to happen in Vegas. My party in Vegas, I feel like, needs to be in the casino, at dinner, at a club, not like at this pool. And you know, everyone has to reek of last night's liquor. There's just no way everyone smells good in the 100-degree heat at the pool the next day. It's just like, and how do these kiddos do what they do? The way they are able to just drink and rally, they're out every night. I'm like, what must that be like to have energy? What is it like? I can barely get my ass up to stay up till 9 p.m. anymore. What is it like to have energy? Maybe I should go to a doctor about that. But yeah. And then we get yet another confrontation with Emmy and Will about the fact that Will is sleeping around with people at his college. Emmy claims that he is the person that's spreading this rumor. Okay, sorry, 1 second. The dog is Russell. Come here. Sorry if you can hear that, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can see Russell's tail going. He wants dinner. No, Will is supposedly this guy at the law school hates Will, and so is setting up all these rumors. This is the alibi that Emmy and Will seemingly came up with in the hotel room after the blowout happened at the Country Western bar. Um, and they're both really doubling down on this, but I have to agree with the rest of the cast that it is bullshit. It has to be. Now, I think they are still together. I said this a couple weeks ago. I'm pretty sure they are still together, which is haunting. Emmy reminds me of like a baby Lindsay Hubbard, right? When she was like talking about that list of like the things that the timeline of what was going to happen with their relationship, the way she reacts to things. There's Lindsay Hubbard in her. They kind of honestly, she kind of looks like she could be like her kid. I don't think logistically she could, but actually maybe. Because is Lindsay 40? Let's see. Let's do the math here. Lindsay okay, hi Russell. Hi. Russell will be the guest on today's episode. Lindsay Hubbard age. Lindsay Hubbard is 38. She definitely couldn't be her mom. And because Emmy's definitely like 25. But there's a vibe, right? Do you guys see what I mean? Like they just kind of look like there's a vibe. They're of this, they've spawned from the same source. The source in this country that creates reality stars, they both kind of crawled out of the depths of that. Because they have that manic energy that makes for amazing television. But y'all, the show is great. If you haven't started watching Southern Hospitality, you gotta jump on board. I just jumped on a season 3, and then one of our listeners, sorry, I don't have your comment pulled up, so I don't have your name pulled up. But they were like, no, you must go back to season 2. Season 2 is so good. Season 1 is the one to skip. So I think I may do season 2. I started season 2, and then just fell off for some reason. So maybe that's what I'll do. But yeah, that's kind of like all the shows. Oh my gosh. There's Traitors, but of course, Traitors. Yeah, so let's wrap up on some little Traitors talk. So once again, recording this on Thursday, there is a new episode this evening. I have not seen it. I don't get screeners unless y'all know someone who gets screeners. But I don't. I am loving the season. It's a bunch of fucking dum-dums. They absolutely have no clue what in God's name they're doing. And the Traitors killed off Chriselle. The house voted out Sierra, and they are thinking about picking a new traitor. They have the option, since there's just 2 of them, of recruiting a traitor, and they want to recruit Gabby or Brittany. I think both of those are bad ideas. I don't see why we wouldn't go for a man. I just think it would save their ass from getting voted out because he could talk to the bros. Like the bros always seem to do well in the Traitors, and I wish that like if they had a bro with them, they could use him to kind of like shield against some of the ladies until it was time to get rid of the bro and they could turn on him. That's like I think how I would play it. Like say they brought in Dylan Efron, worked with him for 2 weeks, and then that 3rd week, like right before the finale, they turn on him and get him banished. And then they look like faithfuls. That's what I would do. In the end, though, Danielle. I love Big Brother. I loved Big Brother. It's kind of not really for me anymore, but the Danielle, she's not good at this game. I actually think it's surprising she's made it this far. Who am I to say? Who am I to say? I have never played a game on television, so I probably would be terrible. But the way the edit is being played out, she just doesn't seem to have a good grasp on how to play this game, and she just looks guilty constantly. But Carolyn, however, I want to win. I really want her to win. I really think she can. And I don't think anyone's onto her tail. Tom Sandoval in this episode, though, was doing one of the more manic, crazy behavior things I've ever seen him do, and that is humming, because he's a singer. Never forget, first things first about Miss Sandoval is he's a singer. He has a band. I'm actually shocked he didn't plug the band. Maybe he did, but then they cut it out because they're like, no one gives a shit about your chicken shit gig. No one cares about your band. So they essentially had to like hum melodies back to the castle, and so he was like the person humming the melodies, and he was like, I feel like that was a good Britney Spears impression I just did. Shout out Sam Mascari. Um, that was what I did was better and more in tune than anything he was doing. But I was crying laughing. And then at the round table, he has the gall to say to everyone that women make better cheaters. I almost fell out. Says the biggest cheater of them all, the biggest scammer of them all, Miss Sandoval herself, said that women are better cheaters. He said it was a slip. He meant they're better liars. They're more convincing liars, which also is deeply misogynistic. So shout out to you, Tom, once again. You are constantly raising the bar for the circus, in the words of Michelle Obama. If you've never seen that clip, that's not actually Michelle Obama, but if you're an online person, you understand the reference. But yeah, it's a bunch of dum-dums. I don't really know how it's going to play out. I think Dolores, if they don't kill Dolores, I think she has a good shot at winning. I could also see it being like Dolores and Carolyn in the end, and then Dolores is like, yeah, no one here is traitors, and then they reveal that Carolyn's a traitor. Like I could see that being how this all pans out. But I'm loving the show. It's a great show. Apparently it's the most watched reality show on Peacock to date, and it's like the most watched season of The Traitors with a cast that is dumber than rocks. I'm like, this is a fantastic television program. So, and Alan Cumming, run him his check. Like, he is so amazing at what he does there. I am obsessed with him. And also, if you're on YouTube right now, if you see Russell here behind me, Russell looks so much like Lala. Russell is like Lala. Oh my God. Let's see if we can show him to you guys. Russell, say hi. He wants his dinner. We got to wrap up soon because he's gonna start sobbing even louder. No, he looks like Lala if she ate like the mega mushroom in Mario. Like he's just like a bigger guy version of Lala, and it makes me want another dog. I want a little Lala. She's so cute. I love her. But yeah, those are the shows. This is a nice little solo recap. Once again, you can get to the YouTube. Just look up dumpster dive _ Tom Hamlett. That's currently the handle. I'm going to change the handle. I think just a dumpster dive podcast, but long story. I'm getting things going there, but the video for this episode can be found there. I am also going to try and upload the video for this episode on Spotify as well. So please check out both of those places as I try and get some more video content to you guys. I know that video is the new frontier for podcasting, which makes no sense because podcasts are meant to be audio only. But here we are. And make sure to subscribe to Good Judy's. Good Judy's is my other show with my two best friends in the whole world, Dan Rosales and Bradley Gibson. Good Judy's Pod is the handle on Instagram. Over there, we were talking pop culture, gay shit. We just had both Lucy LaDuca and Jan from season 15 and season 12 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Different episodes, but those episodes have just come out recently. Please go check those out. We had a fabulous time with both of them. I'm actually going to post the Jan Sport one, I think, here in the Dumpster Dive feed so you guys can get a little taste of what's happening over on Good Judy's. But that's kind of it. This was a nice little test run. Next Thursday, okay, I'm going to try and go live at 7 p.m. Eastern time here on YouTube. If you can't catch it, it will also just become the podcast. So it is, nothing to worry about. I also have a couple interviews lined up next week with some different people that will be released just on the podcast platform. So you might get a couple. I think you're going to get quite a few new episodes in the coming weeks, more than one a week. I know some of you are asking for that to come back. We're slowly building back up the content here because I realized how much this makes me happy talking to you guys, and I need to lean back in to the engagement of it a little bit more and creating a space for myself. So thanks for being here. Listen to me gab or watch me gab. And I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend or whenever you listen to this. I love y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.